Good evening, YTPC. How are you all doing? It's been a little while. I've been busy with stuff and actually smoking less, and this might be my last pipe. So I took my biggest pipe today, which is my Machiavelli, you see the M there, Gorgo, and it's like Godzilla as a pipe. It's bloody huge, but it's a great pipe, smokes really well. And since this is one of my last smokes before I prepare for the great day when they slit me open and patch me up, 2nd of July, I'm smoking Esoterica Scarborough, which is a pure Virginia flake. And I'm normally wary about pure Virginias because they tend to burn a little bit hot, and I have to be very careful with them not to get tongue bite. But this one is easy. It's so smooth. Beautiful floral hay grass notes and a nice natural sweetness. It's absolutely fantastic tobacco. And doing the honours today with me is a tamper from Jack the Piper, this beautiful Gandalf one, absolutely gorgeous in this jeweller's brass. Do have a look at his web shop, he has some beautiful tampers there. And a nice Zippo, Onward Christian Soldiers, suitable for this video because it's in honour of Padre Piper, who asked the 6-question challenge, didn't he? And I've watched lots of the video replies to that, but I didn't watch the original video. Somehow I missed it. And I was mentioned as one of the people he would like to respond to his 6-question challenge, so I'm going to try and do that now. I hadn't mentioned my pipe stand. I made this myself. I got bored one day and I thought, why can't I sculpture out of cement? So I got some just regular quick setting cement, the one that dries almost white. And it's a bit tricky actually to get a shape out of it that doesn't sort of sag into a sludge. But as it was setting and as it dried out, I managed to get this sort of diamond shape. I used a golf ball to make the pit here. And then I thought, how am I going to make a setting for the pipe that isn't abrasive? So I got some Sugru, which is like Play-Doh, but it sets hard and it sticks, and leave it a couple of days and it goes rock hard. You can make sort of wall hooks out of it, all kinds of shapes and everything. There's lots of videos, Sugru. Have a look if you like sort of making things yourself. And I took a blue and a yellow and made a green, and I thought I'll make a nice leaf here. So it's hardened up now, but it's still soft, let's say, for the surface of the pipe, so it won't. And if Gorgo will fit in it, anything will fit in it. And then I just put some gold paint around it and some studs and black paint on the bottom, and that's my new pipe stand. It's not really beautiful, I would say, but you know, it's all right for the first try, and it, you know, keeps you occupied for an afternoon doing something with your hands. So where was I? Yes. Now Padre Piper, I'm not sure you thought carefully about that number 6, because today is June, that you wanted 6 questions, and today is the 16th, so there's a 6 in the number, so 666. What does that mean, Padre? That's the number of the beast, isn't it? Oh my God. So, getting to the questions now. Question number 1, which there's one answer. What's the worst thing you ever smoked? You know, the blend from hell. And I've mentioned this one before, and it's so on its own as the absolute worst that I couldn't even begin to try and finish a tin. I couldn't even get beyond the 10% of a bowl before I had to ditch it. And that was Rocking Chair, which was a Yahoo Pipe Club Cornell and Deal tobacco. You can I still see it in some Swiss tobacconists, but it's pretty old now, from the early 2000s. My tin was a bit swelled already, so that's why I opened it. That was a big mistake. And that must be the highest nicotine pipe tobacco that I've mistakenly ever tried. And I realised after that I have to watch this nicotine story and not go above medium, because I just can't handle it. I don't know if anyone has ever tried Rocking Chair out there, but it's a bit like a tin of pure nicotine injected into your jugular vein, and within about 2 minutes you start to sort of go like this, you know, and I mean the stuff is absolute poison as far as I'm concerned. I did actually explain that to Newton Piper and sent it to him, and I think he was able to smoke it. So it's just, you know, it depends on your nicotine tolerance. I don't have a very high one. But apart from that, I must say, I'm very pleased to say I'm interested in all kinds of blends. There's not one like Virginia's I've mentioned that I wouldn't say, I don't smoke Virginia's, I don't smoke Burley, I don't smoke Latakia. I like them all, and I've always found certain blends that, you know, are just perfect with Perique or whatever, you know. I'm tolerant to all of them, so I had to actually come back to the big N as the only reason why I would have a bad experience with tobacco. So that's answer number 1. Then number 2 is a couple of desert island blends that you know, that's all that's left in the world, and would you be happy smoking them forever, you know? Again, you know the standard answer, but I did smoke recently some Sir Walter Raleigh Aromatic, and I've fallen in love with it again. It's my first love tobacco, and it will remain in the top 2 or 3 of my favourites, because it's just so pleasant and easy to smoke and delicious. And I even thought, should I get another reserve tub, you know, but my cellar is really full. So Walter Raleigh Aromatic, and I was torn between Germain's Rich Dark Flake, which is fantastic. It's Newton Piper sent me a sample, and I fell in love with that and thought, this is absolutely delicious and one of the best tobaccos I've ever had. And many I know do agree with me. I was also torn between that and Esoterica Pembroke, which I like really a lot. And if I was on a desert island, I'd take the Esoterica because it's so valuable. People will come look for me just to get the Esoterica, you know. So, but if I wasn't on a desert island and just here at home had to pick two tobaccos, I would take the Germain's Rich Dark Flake as number 2. So that's answer to number 2. And then there's that one about a tobacco that you would love to have but you could never get, or it can't be had. Now, I've mentioned Esoterica, and they had one blend called Hastings, which you find in smoking pipes listed, but it's always out of stock. And I've never ever seen that appear in any drop or anything. It's one of their few aromatic. So one with a clear, not just a casing or a bit of topping, you know, it's an aromatic. And you just can't get it. And I always wanted to try Hastings. And I've never seen it anywhere. So Hastings Esoterica would be my answer to number 3. And I suppose that have to be 3 such tobaccos to mention there. I suppose the other one that's hard to get, I haven't tried it yet. I have one tin that I got in one of my time trips. Edgeworth Slices. Only sounds fantastic when I hear about that one. So hard to get and haven't tried yet that one. And the third one would be one that used to be available, but they've dropped it now, and because of Lane being bought by Scandinavian Tobacco Group and streamlining the product line. Prince Albert Soft Vanilla has gone and it's not for sale anywhere. Now I do confess I had a pouch about a year and a half ago, and that went very quick and that's gone. I thought I really like this actually. It's much better, I think, than just regular Prince Albert. You can actually taste something, and it was really enjoyable. And I thought that's an all-day smoke, you know, and one that you could, if you like vanilla, you could smoke it for a long time. And it's gone. Very sad, you know. So I suppose now that not being available, that would be number 3. Number 4 is 4 people you would invite or like to have a smoke with, you know. I'm going to cheat. This is an open admission that I'm cheating here. I confess, Padre Piper, in advance. So it probably disqualifies me from the draw, that's okay. But because I did 4 groups of 4, 16 people, that makes a party. So I would do a grill party, and I would invite 4 different categories of person, and we'd have a great time. And these are people who may be dead or not exist anymore, or living. Group number 1 are the rulers and the warriors and the explorers. So Tecumseh, the great Indian chief, number 1, love to meet him and have a chat with him and a smoke. I'm sure he smokes a pipe, you know. Sir Walter Raleigh. It'd be great to talk to Raleigh, wouldn't it? He invented it as a hobby, you know, or brought it over at least to Europe, didn't he? Attila the Hun, Now you may be very surprised by that one, but I have found some literature which says he actually did smoke roots, you know, of certain plants, maybe as incense, but you know, he still breathed it in. He was probably misunderstood. By the way, I'd have a universal translator at this party so everybody could understand everybody else, whether they've got a different modern language or a language that doesn't exist anymore. And number 4 in that group was Ramesses III, a pharaoh. Oh, that'd be great, you know. He might just stand there like this, you know, but because, again, I found some old literature which says out of papyrus and reeds, there may have been some smoking going on there, and they found certain things in excavation of certain pyramids. You never know. If anyone shows up at the party who says, well, I didn't actually smoke and don't know how to smoke, I introduce them to them, give them a corn cob and get them started. I'm sure they'd love it, you know. Group number 2, ladies. You know, what is a party without some ladies there? So Annie MacDowell I would like to have. She's the ageless beauty. Who is very famous for being a pipe smoker. I'd like to have Silver Grey there, the pipe lady who makes pipes. Very famous. I'd like to have Annette Hanshaw there, that she can sing us a song or two. I don't know that she smoked the pipe, but you know, I talk her into trying it, you know. And while I'm doing it, I thought I may as well get Marilyn Monroe there, you know. I'm sure she'd have a giggle and you know, have a little try at, I think she smokes some cigarettes, so, you know, maybe she'll get into a nice, elegant church warden pipe with just a lovely, sweet aromatic, you know. That could be a lot of fun, you know. Make it more interesting for the other guys there as well, with some lovely ladies. And one other lady is in one of the other categories. So number 3, I would like to have Bing Crosby, of course, who is the one I've always mentioned as my favourite celebrity pipe smoker. I'd like to have Joan of Arc, another lady. She was a soldier as well, so I'm sure she'd like a good smoke. Thor would be great, wouldn't it? You know, there's no limit here. You can have fictional characters, I assume. Who knows, maybe he was around, you know, before Christianity came along. These other gods they'd just sort of gone somewhere else, but that would be great, you know, Thor with his hammer, you know, and he'd probably want the strongest. He'd probably have a competition with Attila the Hun, what would be the strongest tobacco that anybody could smoke. Maybe I'll give them that rocking chair tobacco. And lastly, as was the whole story here commenced by Padre Piper, I'd like to have someone for, let's say, spiritual guidance. So Archangel Gabriel, that's my favourite archangel, and you know, of course I'd have to think about the you know, the hors d'oeuvres, what I'm going to serve here, you know, probably Attila the Hun would like sort of skewered rats on a skewer on the grill, but I'll have lots of milk and honey for Gabriel as well. Category number 4 of this grill up party would be people from YTPC who are still active or were once active. The Artful Codger I would like to invite, because he really partly got me into pipe smoking. I just found it so charming when I went to his Christmas live chat. It was the most magical thing I've ever experienced there. Everyone was chummed up and he welcomed everyone as they arrived with this lovely Jackie Gleason music, and it just felt like a Christmas party. It was fantastic, you know. And I really miss the Artful Codger. It doesn't have a channel anymore as far as I can see, but he was for me a great legend. And then I'd like to have Eric Blue Collar Piper, because we'd have a great chat about redcoats and military things and all kinds of other aspects of pipe nostalgia. And Steph&Skip, I would like to be there, because I'm sure wherever they are, it's a great party. You know, they are party people. We have a good laugh with them there as well, and it balances up. So then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ladies, not bad. And Padre Piper, you should be there as well, especially if Archangel Gabriel is there. You know, we'd have a chat with him and try and persuade Attila to change his ways, maybe, or talk about Ramesses, that the sun god thing is not the real thing, and could have a good philosophical, theological element to it, And that very long answer to number 4, but it would be a hell of a party, that one. So number 5 was 5 newbies or people, YTPC members, you would suggest their channels to newbies. The great teachers, of course, make sense, like Mutton Chop, I totally agree, and he also helped me enormously at the beginning to learn a lot of basics, and he's very, very good at explaining it. And today we have the great Spurgeon Piper, who's a fantastic guy, and he's covered the 101 basic lessons and some of the more sophisticated things, so you can only learn from them. I still respect, as number 3 in this group, Bradley Stuff and Things, because he does such beautifully precise tobacco reviews. I know he does a lot of other stuff now, but I think he'd be cool at a party, all of those people. My good friend, of course, Sean Panzer has to be there. And another channel to watch, you could win a pipe, because he does these fantastic monthly giveaways, but he also does lovely talks about new blends and his pipes and other things. So really good channel. And Padre Piper, again, for spiritual guidance. We all need that, from time to time. So those are my 5 for a newbie. You should subscribe and look at these channels. But there are many, many other superbly excellent ones. And, roam around, that's my advice. And look at lots and lots of channels. You find lots of interesting presenters there. People tell great stories, just do, blogs or chats. And you'll find a lot of friends if you wander around YTPC. Number 6. So question number 6 is the people I would call out to try and have a go at this VR. There were 6 questions, as difficult as it is. And some may have been called out already, so ignore it in that case if you done a VR already, of course, and some might really not want to do it, so only do it if you really would enjoy to do it. John Panzer, of course, my old mate, I call you out to have a go at this if you haven't done it already. Uncle Phil, I'm sure that would be interesting what his answers are. Mike Rondeau, I think, you know, you would have some really interesting answers for this one. Especially question number 4, I think that's the most interesting one. What sort of party group you'd like to put together. And a couple of newbies, old and in the way. Maybe you'd like to have a go at it. And Scotland Sherlock Piper. So give us the Scottish perspective on the answers to these 6 questions. And the last one would be Mark of Rhode Island, if you haven't done it yet. I haven't thoroughly checked who has and who has not, but maybe a few of these people haven't done it and 1 or 2 might like to have a go at it. Well, as you see, we had fantastic weather. Cirrus clouds, and a lot of the day there weren't any clouds, and it's up to about 30 here, and not even that windy. It's absolutely glorious weather here, so really enjoying that, and totally enjoying this Scarborough Esoterica, I must say. It's just absolutely fantastic, you know, and not one of them you can even get near a tongue bite, you know. They're very comely, very inviting, very kind tobaccos that you can enjoy without any worries, you know. So that's it, my dears, for this video. I may squeeze 1 or 2 more before the end of the month. As I said, they'll be a little bit rarer than my normal tempo, and you know, partly because I won't be doing that much smoking between now and the end of the month. So you all take care, everyone. Enjoy the lovely summer, and I'll see you in probably about a week or so. Cheers. Bye-bye.